Imagine waking up in the dead of night, frozen in place, only to see a shadowy figure looming in the corner of your room. A figure wearing what appears to be a hat. This isn't a scene from a horror movie, but a chillingly common experience reported by individuals worldwide, encounters with the so-called Hatman. The Hatman, a specific type of shadow person, has been a topic of discussion and fear across various cultures, often associated with the eerie phenomenon of sleep paralysis. These encounters have sparked intrigue and fear among those who claim to have experienced them. The figure, seemingly a man, is often depicted wearing a hat, hence the name. But what could be the explanation behind these widespread and strikingly similar experiences? Are they just hallucinations born out of our deepest fears? Or could they be something far more enigmatic? Let's delve into the mystery of the Hatman. Welcome to the Mouth of Madness. The Hatman isn't confined to a single culture or region. His presence permeates global folklore and paranormal narratives. Let's delve into the Hatman's cultural roots. In various societies, he's been linked to sleep paralysis experiences. Sleep paralysis is a transitional state between wakefulness and sleep, often accompanied by terrifying hallucinations. Across the world, people report seeing a shadowy figure during these episodes. This figure is often described as a tall, dark silhouette, wearing a hat, just like our Hatman. In religious contexts, too, we find similar entities. For example, in Christianity, demonic figures are sometimes depicted as dark, ominous beings. Could the Hatman be one such demonic figure? That's a question for the theologians. In Native American cultures, there are stories of shadowy figures that lurk in the periphery, much like the Hatman. These figures are seen as spirits or supernatural entities, believed to be both good and bad. In the East, particularly in Japan, the folklore speaks of the Nopperabo, a faceless ghost, often depicted wearing a wide-brimmed hat. While not an exact match, the similarities are uncanny. Despite these cultural differences, there's a striking consistency in the depiction of the Hatman. He's always a shadowy figure, often tall, and almost always sporting a hat. Why a hat, you may ask? Well, some believe it symbolizes authority or control. Others think it's a relic from a bygone era, a time when hats were a common part of daily attire. So we see the Hatman, or entities like him, present in various cultural narratives. These narratives, although diverse, share a common thread: a shadowy figure, tall, ominous, and always wearing a hat. Despite the cultural variances, the persistent image of a hat-wearing shadow figure is strikingly consistent. What could be the reason for this? Who or what is the Hatman? Theories range from the supernatural to the scientific. Perhaps the most pervasive interpretation of the Hatman is that of an evil spirit. This dark figure, often seen donned in a wide-brimmed hat, is believed by some to be a malevolent entity. It's said to instigate a chilling sense of dread, seemingly thriving on the fear it induces. This theory resonates with those who've experienced inexplicable phenomena, aligning the Hatman with the sinister beings of folklore and mythology. In contrast, some propose a more extraterrestrial origin. They argue that the Hatman might be an alien, a visitor from the cosmos with a curiously human form. This perspective draws parallels with the Men in Black narrative, suggesting that these figures might be otherworldly observers or even interlopers on our planet. Yet not all theories are rooted in the supernatural. There's a school of thought that suggests the Hatman might be a psychological manifestation, particularly during episodes of sleep paralysis. This condition, characterized by a temporary inability to move or speak while falling asleep or waking, is often accompanied by vivid and sometimes terrifying hallucinations. Could the Hatman be a figment of our minds, brought forth in this state of half-sleep, half-wakefulness? Others propose an even simpler explanation, that the Hatman is nothing more than a trick of the imagination, a shadow misinterpreted, or an overactive mind creating monsters in the dark. Each interpretation brings with it a multitude of questions. Is the Hatman a harbinger of doom or a harmless hallucination? An interstellar visitor or an invented villain? Each theory offers a fascinating glimpse into the human desire to make sense of the inexplicable. Whether a demon, an alien, or a trick of the mind, the Hatman continues to instill a sense of dread and fascination. The encounters with the Hatman are as varied as they are chilling. From the most remote corners of the world to the bustling urban centers, tales of this shadowy figure have sent shivers down the spine of many a brave soul. Let's begin with an experience that hails from a quiet town in the heartland of America. A woman, we'll call her Jane, recounts waking up in the dead of night, a cold sweat trickling down her brow. She felt a presence, something in the room that didn't belong. Turning her head slowly, her eyes met the penetrating gaze of a tall, shadowy figure standing silently by her bed. The figure, distinguished by the brimmed hat it wore, simply stared, its eyes devoid of emotion. Jane's terror was palpable, but as quickly as the figure appeared, it was gone, leaving behind an eerie silence and a story that Jane would carry with her for the rest of her life. Moving halfway across the globe, another tale emerges from the narrow, winding streets of old Europe. A young man, we'll call him Pierre, was returning home late one evening. As he approached his front door, he was overcome with an inexplicable sense of dread. Glancing over his shoulder, he saw a hat-topped shadow figure standing at the end of the street, its form flickering in the dim glow of the street lamp. Pierre hurried inside, slamming the door behind him, but the image of the Hatman, standing there in the empty street, haunts him to this day. Then there's the story of a group of friends in Australia. They were camping in the outback, under a sky filled with stars. As the fire crackled and laughter filled the air, a sudden chill descended upon the group. One by one, they turned to see a figure standing on the edge of the firelight. The Hatman had come to visit. Although they were a group, the feeling of isolation was overwhelming, each of them feeling as though they were alone with this spectral visitor. As quickly as the chill set in, it lifted, and the figure was gone, leaving the friends in stunned silence. Each of these stories, and countless others like them, paint a picture of an entity that is as intriguing as it is terrifying. The Hatman, a figure that seemingly transcends culture and geography, appearing to people of all walks of life. These tales, while frightening, provide intriguing insights into the phenomenon of the Hatman, but not everyone is convinced. Not everyone is ready to believe in shadowy figures lurking in the night. Skeptics offer alternative explanations for the Hatman phenomenon. Indeed, skeptics often propose that sightings of the Hatman are not paranormal occurrences, but the results of perfectly explainable human experiences. One such argument is that the Hatman is a product of sleep paralysis. This condition, which can occur as a person falls asleep or wakes up, can involve vivid and often frightening hallucinations. It's easy to see how a dark, menacing figure could be conjured up in the throes of such an experience. Another skeptical viewpoint suggests that the Hatman may be a hallucination brought on by mental health disorders. Conditions like schizophrenia and bipolar disorder are known to cause visual hallucinations. It's not a big leap to suggest that someone under the influence of such conditions could see a menacing, hat-wearing figure. Furthermore, skeptics argue that the power of suggestion and cultural influence cannot be overlooked. The human mind is a remarkable thing, capable of seeing patterns and making connections where there may be none. Once the idea of the Hatman is introduced, it can be easy for the mind to fill in the blanks, creating a shadowy figure from a harmless dark corner or an innocuous rustling of leaves. Finally, some skeptics point to the influence of drugs, particularly methamphetamine, as a potential cause of Hatman sightings. The use of such substances can lead to intense hallucinations and paranoia, potentially manifesting as sightings of the Hatman. The skeptic's perspective then offers a variety of alternative explanations for the Hatman phenomenon. These explanations are grounded in our understanding of psychology, neurology, and even the influence of culture and society. They don't require us to step into the realm of the paranormal, but instead invite us to explore the fascinating depths of the human mind. Whether you're a believer or a skeptic, The Hatman phenomenon poses intriguing questions about the human mind and the mysteries it holds. The Hatman, a shadowy figure of the night, continues to be shrouded in mystery. We've traveled through time, exploring its origins in various cultures and delved into the various beliefs surrounding this entity. From being an ominous visitor during sleep paralysis to a spectral figure seen in moments of heightened emotions, the Hatman has been a constant presence in the annals of the paranormal. We've heard chilling encounters from people who claim to have come face to face with this shadowy figure, their stories painting a vivid and often unsettling picture. Yet, we've also heard from the skeptics, those who believe these sightings can be attributed to psychological and physiological conditions. The Hatman, this elusive figure of the paranormal, remains an intriguing puzzle. Despite numerous theories and countless sightings, we still don't have a definitive answer. As we continue to explore the depths of our understanding, one question remains. Who is the Hatman really? Perhaps only the shadows know for sure. If you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe and share. Thank you for watching.